How does the subculture of alcohol abuse promote and lend itself to the sexual assault and the military epidemic? Living in the barracks can be so fun. Close proximities to others your age, similar interests and work schedules. But when it stops being fun and the reality sets in of what you're doing, it's a dangerous place. The average age of service members living in the barracks is between the ages of 18 to 24. This is also the most at-risk age group for experiencing sexual assault while in the military. What exactly puts this age group at such risks? The answer lies within immaturity and lack of situational awareness. When you hear about someone in their early 20s, what exactly do you think of? Personally, from my experience, it was nothing but drinking and spending time in the barracks with my friends. Some of the best and worst nights were spent with a bottle of liquor or a 30 rack of beer in someone's room. The normalization of alcohol abuse within the barracks specifically is disturbing. I remember, or rather, don't have memories from getting beyond intoxicated on a Tuesday afternoon, and that was just what we did back then. There is a certain level of trust that everyone develops in the barracks. You hear nothing and see nothing. It does not matter if you see someone literally chugging an entire bottle of liquor that they weren't supposed to have in the first place. You say nothing. The inherent trust leads someone who lives in those halls just to drink with whoever. Predators will often weaponize alcohol in the barracks. What exactly is weaponizing alcohol, and how do predators do it? Alcohol is a depressant, and some of the side effects will impair your emotional and sensory responses, such as your response times, your judgment, and your memory. Predators will use this to their advantage to either ensure that you don't remember what happened or to control the narrative of what they say did happen. It's to discredit the victim. Oftentimes in the barracks, when you are new to the military, there are certain traditions which are actually hazing. This includes binge drinking with people who are supposed to be looking out for you, not harming you. In over half the cases of sexual assault in the military, alcohol was involved. USA Today. What does hazing have to do with sexual assault, and how do either of those have to do with the barracks subculture? Drinking underage is a violation of the UCMJ. So what does that mean for someone who is assaulted while drinking underage? It means that oftentimes they face charges of underage consumption instead of immunity from minor offenses when assaulted. This is a huge factor in the problem of underreporting assaults in the military. Predators will take advantage of underage service members' fears of getting in trouble and use that as a persuasion method to mitigate the chances of being reported for their actions. Another factor of underreporting is male-on-male assaults, which are more likely to happen in a hazing context. Not all cases of male-on-male sexual assault happen in the hazing context. That needs to be clear. Hazing is a huge problem in the military and more predominant in the barracks themselves. Examples of hazing in the barracks include being woken up in the middle of the night by your senior platoon mates and being forced to drink or having your entire room trashed. These are lighter examples. Other examples which I have seen from a second-hand video account that was considered to be funny by a party who was involved is a junior Marine being hazed in a way that is actually sexual assault. As an individual whose first weekend out of training in the fleet was blackout drunk being sodomized by a senior sergeant, someone who was supposed to be in charge of him and look out for him, with a plastic spoon. This was considered to be funny by the individuals involved, but not the E1. I was shown this video by one of the assailants as an example of, look at how funny this is. I was disturbed. This is weaponizing alcohol by utilizing the accepted culture of binge drinking to a point of blackout to cause harm to another service member. Another example I had seen firsthand was hosting a barracks party with only 2 female service members there, one of which was myself. It seemed like an incredibly average party, a few bottles of liquor and some drinking games. The problem wasn't the party or the drinking, it was the levels at which drinks were being pushed on the female service members at this party, including myself. There was one individual at this party who kept pouring the other woman's drinks himself and wouldn't let anyone else do it. That's a red flag. This falls back to the inherent trust of those around and why no one questioned why the one man kept pouring that woman's drinks. By the end of the party, the woman could barely stand and almost no one questioned why he was walking her back to her room. I mean, it was only 1 floor below. Thankfully, in this specific case, myself and another service member noticed the red flags and followed the man taking her to ensure her safety and that he left her alone. That is not the normal case, because of the accepted culture of binge drinking in the barracks and trust of other service members. An average of 22 to 33% of women report being assaulted during their time in service, from an anonymous source at the New York Times. They are not the same statistics published for men, but they are drastically less likely to report because of the hyper and toxic masculine cultures of the military. The statistics of reporting have been steadily on the rise, and it is unclear if this is an increase of assaults or just an increase of reporting. The issue that comes from reporting, especially in the barracks, is you have no safe place. You live with, work with, and spend almost all of your time around the same people. Sounded like fun at the beginning of this video, right? Most victims of sexual violence in the military face retaliation, according to the Washington Post. The retaliation has many forms, from commands directly seeking punishment to being ostracized by your peers. This disproportionately affects those in the barracks who can lose their support system and feel like they are trapped in a place that should be their home. The culture of normalized alcohol abuse enables the predators within the barracks to weaponize alcohol in order to cause harm to fellow service members. Without complete cultural change, we will never see improvement with sexual assault in the military.